to my channel. So it's a little bit of a bittersweet day. This is my either last or second to last video that I will record in here because I may record 2 videos today, I'm not really sure. But it's a little bittersweet. Move out day is tomorrow. I mean, we're excited to get back to Birmingham, but we're also a little bit sad because we've made a couple of friends up here and also we just like the area in general. So today's video is going to be me trying out a full face pretty much, except for like one product, of SHEGLAM makeup. About a year ago, I tried out a full face of Shein makeup, and that included from the brand SHEGLAM, which I didn't know, but at the time that was Shein's makeup line that was transferring from Shein, like the name, to SHEGLAM. I got a whole new set of products I haven't used or ever tried. I'm very excited. Let's just go ahead and get started into this first impression and wear test. All right, so the first thing I'm gonna go in with is eyeliner, and yeah, this is exactly like the eyeliner I used last time. Let's just see if it's similar, because I'm imagining it pretty much is. It's just like, you know, renamed. Yeah, it's pretty much what I remember. It's got a little bit of a shorter and stiffer, if you can kind of see it, a little bit of a shorter and stiffer like brush. I think it's a felt tip. I much prefer brush tips. I think that they're easier to control, but I do like the way that went on. I think that it looks pretty good and it's very black and did not skip, so that is always nice. So I just did the other eye and it's really good. I'll definitely use this up. I don't know if I'd repurchase it because of the fact it's a felt tip, but I really did like the way it went on. And if you like felt tips, it's matte, it's black, and it goes on very, very smoothly. So now into the mascara. This is what the packaging looks like. Very simple. The brush is interesting. It's like triangular, but it's flat on one side and then it goes up to a triangle. That's interesting. Let's see how this works. This kind of looks like it's gonna be a wet formula, and I'm not the biggest fan of super wet, but let's just see. It's definitely blackening and curling. That's nice. Definitely curling. It's a very interesting wand though. Like, I'm going in with it like this. That's the way the bristles are made. Definitely will be applying more coats to this, because I never wear one coat of mascara, and there's just not enough volume right now. So I've done the left eye and I'm gonna go in with another layer and let's see how this builds up. Ooh, it's definitely building it up pretty nice. Not a whole lot of volume yet, but definitely like lengthening the more and more you apply. I'm gonna go in with a third coat and let's see. So I definitely don't think that this is volumizing. The length is okay. Like, it's definitely more lengthening than volumizing, and it pushes the curl up, so that's good. All right, so this is the mascara on the third coat. It's all right. It's not my favorite, but it's not bad. And if you're more into lengthening over volume, then I definitely think that this one is pretty good. I'm gonna quickly go off camera and put eye primer and regular primer on because I don't have those two things. And we're gonna come back and start trying out the eyeshadow palettes. I am very excited. All right, so I have my primer on and my eye base on. I just used the e.l.f. Putty Primer and then the Revolution Pro Eye Elements. Pretty sure this is discontinued, which sucks because I love it. So now it's time for eyeshadow. I'm very excited. Got the Afterglow palette and the Desert palette. So the Afterglow, if I had to pick between the two, is definitely the one I'm most interested in. A lot of neutrals. I'm very interested in this one. The other one is the one that's set up like a ColourPop palette. I don't really know why it's called the Desert palette because it's got like mauve and pinky tones. So I'm not sure about why it's like that. That's okay. We've got a decent amount of mattes in this one. So I am gonna start off in this one. I'm gonna grab my brush. And I think I'm gonna take this shade and mix those. And this doesn't have a mirror, which is my other complaint, but that's okay. So I'm gonna put that in the crease. I like that so far. I like how pigmented it is. I like how blendable it is. These look great so far. I like the pigmentation, I like the blendability. So let's see, I probably should be a little bit more daring and not just go in with the typical neutral, which is what I always do. Because isn't that what we all do? I think I'm gonna go into this brown shade down here and kind of put it on this brush to have it a little bit more detailed. This is kind of a funny day for me to try this stuff out because I'm literally wearing athletic stuff because I've packed all my clothes up except for this outfit and the outfit I'm wearing to move tomorrow. So I'm gonna have like glam makeup on with like just, you know, athletic clothes. I like this shade. It's very pretty, very smoky. So I'm gonna blend it out so it's not so harsh. Very pretty. So I blended that out and I think that looks really good. I need to try some shades from this, or at least one shade, but it's so hard to mix because these are purple based. But to kind of make this more interesting, and since I'm not really seeing anybody but Thomas today, let's see, I think I'm gonna go in with Desert Sage, but I'm gonna go into this shade right here. Not something I would normally go in with this eye look, but I wanna see, oh, pretty. I wanna see how these shades work. I always go in with my finger on sparkly shades. Yeah, it's got a little bit of a pinky hue. It's like a gold pink, so like not something I would normally use with this eye look. Very sparkly, but not in a chunky way, which I really like, but it definitely is coming across pretty pink, like a pink undertone, but it's very nice. I do want to go in with a shimmer from the other palette though, so I also know how that works. I think I'm gonna go in with this shade up here, which is called Rose Quartz, which doesn't look like rose quartz to me. It looks very champagne-y. So let's see how this works. It's definitely adding a little bit more gold to the look. So now that I've finished the eyes, I actually really like the way they turned out. It is time for foundation, which I am so excited about because I want to see if this is like my beloved Shein one, and then they took it away. So we're gonna try this out. So for reference, I have both the Shein and the SHEGLAM bottles here to show you. I'm not gonna put this Shein one on because I have a tool to try out. So I'm gonna do one half of my face with the Tati Beauty Blendiful and the other half with the brush I got. You can see here, these are pretty much identical. They've got the same packaging, glass. They both have like scripted names and like logos on the top. They are both pump bottles, the exact same pump bottles, by the way. So I have high hopes for this to be the same. I really hope it is, and we're gonna see if it is. I'm about to put this on my palette. The tool I got is a brush. I mentioned it in a Vlogmas, and it looks like this, very smooth. It's like you hold it like this, it's got a little fingerprint thing. So I think I'm gonna use the Tati Beauty Blendiful. I'm gonna use it on this side, and then this one I'm gonna use on this side, and we're just gonna see how this goes. I'm very interested. I've never tried a brush like this. I never tried an Artiste brush or anything like it, so I'm kind of interested to see how I like it in general anyway, but especially from a brand that is so inexpensive. So I'm gonna pull my hair back because I don't need that all up in my face. So by the way, this is in the shade Shell, and this is in the shade Ivory. This is the Shein one, and this is the SHEGLAM one. I hope this will work. I'm not really sure. I did the best I could. You have to remember it's all online. The consistency so far is exactly like the Shein one. Kind of moussey and thick. It's not like super thick like you sometimes see. It might work. I'm gonna try this first, and I'm trying to figure out, I don't want to put it directly in there, so I think I'm gonna have to use my fingers and kind of swipe it on. I feel like this will be okay. It might be a little bit yellowy, but we're gonna see. So I'm just gonna kind of like, I guess, rub it in, and we'll see how this goes. This brush is really hard. I feel like I'm beating myself up. It's got a unique shape. It's like an egg shape. Do some people do it like this? Maybe that's the way you're supposed to do it. I'm not feeling this brush. It kind of made my skin kind of burn a little bit. I'm not sure I'm feeling that. Let me do the other side. I am just gonna go directly with my Tati Beauty Blendiful, and let's start trying it over here. Yeah, the Tati Beauty Blendiful, like I think I just get like used to the luxury of not irritating my skin because it's so soft. That looks much better than the other side. And I'm getting more coverage. Yeah, I think this is pretty much exactly like the Shein one. Gosh. This looks so good, like it just immediately goes on so smooth, and I feel like it kind of almost blurs your pores, which is amazing. So since I didn't like the brush very much, I'm going to just do the second layer and kind of like try to even out the coverage with the Tati Beauty Blendiful. This foundation is exactly like the Shein one. So this must have just been its replacement. It just like smooths out, it covers. It has so much coverage on the first layer, which is amazing. So I went ahead and drug the foundation down my neck. Not a perfect match, but I think it's like all right. I definitely think that the SHEGLAM one is just the Shein one repackaged, which is amazing. That's exactly what I was hoping for. So if this wears exactly like this one, I can recommend it to you guys and not have to worry about the fact that it does not exist anymore. Now it is on to the concealer. This is a tube concealer. It's like pretty huge for a concealer. Like this could easily be like a travel foundation tube. I'm not the biggest fan of this kind of format. Ooh, it's dripping out. But we're gonna make it work. I feel like it's gonna be a little bit thicker, which I don't prefer, but we're just gonna take very little and I'm gonna work it with my finger. By the way, this is in the shade Finland. It looks like it's definitely lighter than the foundation. And I'm gonna put a little bit on the outer corners. I'm gonna take this e.l.f. concealer sponge and we're gonna blend it in. And let's see how good this is. That is pretty. It's brightening. I don't think it's super full coverage, but I do think it kind of brightens the under eye. I'm gonna put it on the other under eye and let it sit for a little bit longer and see if maybe that helps make it more full coverage. So I'm gonna let this sit for a second and then we're gonna come back, blend it out, and see what the results are. This has been sitting for about 30 seconds. So let's blend it out and see. Oh yeah. That definitely helps the coverage a little bit. Made it a little bit more full coverage. Like, I don't really know if you can tell, but there seems to be a little bit more full coverage than over here. Like, this one's fine and it's still brightening, but I definitely think that the left eye has just a little bit more coverage. I kind of hope it's coming up on camera. I think it is. But now onto the baking powder. I'm gonna set my eyes and I'm gonna probably have to use this all over the rest of my face as well because this is the only powder I have. I'm a little scared of this color because it looks like it might be a little bit darker than what I have going on here, but let's just see. It's definitely darker in person than it is coming across on camera. Let's go ahead and set these under eyes. And this is in the shade Cappuccino, by the way. I actually really like the way that's looking. It's very blurring. So I'm gonna set the rest of like where I bake, or like halfway bake. And then I'm gonna let it sit while I do eyebrows, or part of my eyebrows. And then we're going to dust that off and put this on the rest of my face. So while I am letting that sit, I'm going to go into the eyebrow pencil. And this is in shade 4 Number Blonde. That's what it says. And it's supposed to be like real skinny, like my CoverGirl one. It's got a spoolie on one side and it's got a little bitty tip. So let's brush up these eyebrows and see what we are working with. I really hope this matches exactly how I want it to. Very similar to the CoverGirl one. I think that color is pretty good. Might be a little bit warmer than the CoverGirl one, just so you are aware of that. But the payoff is nice. Yeah, I do like that. It is slightly warmer, but but I do like the way that looks. That worked really nicely. I'm really excited to see that Shein has released an eyebrow pencil that is blonde and not just taupe, because taupe does not work on me. It's too caterpillar-y. So I'm really glad to see this. It does seem to like match my hair color pretty well. Now I'm gonna revisit the powder and I'm gonna dust it off under my eyes and put it on my face. Yeah, this is a very blurring powder. So I'm putting it on the rest of my face and I'm using this Sonia Kashuk brush. Ooh. This is a very blurring powder. It looks really nice over that foundation. I don't know why it says glow powder. I'm not seeing any glow. It definitely is appearing more matte than anything, but you can obviously make it glowy with like setting spray. That looks really good. I love when first impressions go well, because sometimes they think that they're gonna go well and then they are like an actual disaster. So now that I have the rest of the base on, let's try out this blusher. We're gonna try it out as a bronzer. It's very warm, very blush-like, but it did not appear this way online. It was much more taupey and cool toned, but we're gonna give it our all. So I'm gonna go in with this Eco Tools brush, oh boy, and try this. Oh yeah, that is so a blush. Great job, Monica. Not used to wearing blush, so it's kind of weird seeing me with it on. It does have a nice pretty glow to it, so if you are like a big blush person, this is great. I think it's funny that I'm wearing blush where my bronzer goes, but we're just gonna make it work. I think that this has nice pigmentation for a blush. And I think it does look nice. I'm just not used to seeing myself wear blush because I'm not a big blush person. So yeah, but it does have a nice sheeny glow, if you can kind of see, and it's not too sparkly, which is good. It's not nearly as sparkly as I was assuming it was gonna be. By the way, doesn't that look like the Fenty Beauty packaging? Now I'm going to finish up my eyebrows. I'm gonna go into the brow gel, and this is also in the shade Blonde. I really like the Maybelline brow sculpt, so I'm kind of hoping this is like this. It looks like it is. This is definitely a shade I think is gonna work for me. Shade definitely works. We're gonna see how well that holds my eyebrows in place. I don't typically have a hard time like keeping my eyebrows in place, but sometimes I do like rub them and forget that I have like makeup on. But that color is really nice. Now I'm gonna try out this lip liner, and this is in the shade True Faith. And we're gonna see what kind of color we're dealing with here. It looked pretty nude online, but it's looking a little bit more rosy pink in person, but let's just line. Very smooth though. I was kind of hoping this would be more neutral, but it's not. That's okay. Very pinky. It's almost like your lips, but better lip color, but with a little bit more of a Barbie pink pool. Then I have two lipsticks. One is the matte Allure lipstick. This is in the shade Chic, and I just, oh guys, prettiest packaging ever. And that color is just so gorgeous. The lip, like, just like Shein, it's magnetic. It's so pretty. I would like literally just keep this in my purse just to look at it. I'm gonna try this one out first, and then I'm gonna wipe it off probably and put on this one for the day. But I did want to at least try this out for you. I would wear this with a different lip liner normally. All right, that is the nicest color. This is more of the color I was hoping the lip liner to be. Very pretty. If I had a different lip liner on, I think it would be even prettier because it would be more neutral, but I think that it's got such a nice feel. It's very similar to my Nabla best lipstick that I wore for my wedding day, and that feel, it's matte. It's not super matte to where you don't have like any moisture left in your lips, and it's just very comfortable. So I really like that, and I am obsessed with this packaging. Now I'm gonna wipe this off, reapply some lip liner, and come back and we're gonna try out the matte Allure liquid lipstick and see how this is. So I will be right back. So I took the lipstick off and I reapplied the lip liner. One thing to note, it tastes very much like wood mixed with something. So now I'm gonna try this matte liquid lipstick, and it also has gorgeous packaging. SHEGLAM. It's got these like paint splatters. And this is in the shade Millionaire, by the way. Yeah, I'm gonna love this shade. So let's go ahead and try it out. Oh yeah. Pretty. I'm gonna let it sit here and dry for a second, and let's see if it goes down to a flat matte, which might be a little bit drying, or something that's a little bit more flexible. So after letting it sit for a second, I definitely think it's more of a matte, like a flat matte, but it doesn't feel too drying yet. So we're gonna see how it kind of wears throughout the day. Color-wise, so pretty, and I really like it with this eye look. I'm gonna take my hair down real quick and do just a quick rundown, and then we're gonna do some check-ins. This lipstick is actually relatively comfortable, definitely more of a flat matte like I mentioned, but relatively comfortable. But let's go ahead and get into some quick product recaps, and then I'm gonna do a wear test and take you along with me for the rest of the day. First, the eyeliner. I thought this was pretty good. It is basically the Shein one I tried in that video like a year ago, just with a different name. Felt tips, so if you like felt tips, it's really good. I prefer brush tips, so I'll probably use this and then not repurchase it. The mascara, the more and more I look at it, the less and less I'm impressed. I feel like my curled lashes have kind of uncurled and aren't as like pushed up as I typically would like. For foundation, this is definitely this, except for just a different name and slightly different shade. I think they're pretty similar in shade, but absolutely love this so far. So I really hope that it wears like the other one did and just is very long lasting all day. The concealer, I didn't hate. I don't like the format, but I did like the way it looked after I let it sit. And I think it did a good job brightening and covering if you let it sit for a second, like I mentioned. So it looks like you will never run out. You probably will throw it out before you actually use it up. The powder, I actually really liked because it wasn't so brightening that I felt like it was just a little bit too much. It doesn't have any glimmer to it or like sheen, so I don't really know why it's called like glowy, but that's fine. I like the coverage of it. It does smooth out my skin very nicely. And the blusher, definitely not a bronzer shade like it appears online, very much a blush. I'm not a big blush person, so I wouldn't probably use this again. However, it does look pretty nice on the cheeks, even though I'm not a blush person. I think if you do like blush and you do like this kind of like warm, toasty tone, that you'd really like this. Eyebrow pencil, I actually really like. Teeny tiny tip is nice, and the spoolie is nice. The eyebrow gel I really liked. I'm just gonna see if my eyebrows move, but I don't think they will. The brush, the foundation brush, not the biggest fan of. It kind of like, I was like trying to rub it or like do like how most people do it, and it was really irritating my skin. Of course, I have extremely sensitive skin, so that's not like a really big shocker. But if you do have sensitive skin, I would just kind of steer clear of harsh brushes, and I didn't feel like I was getting super full coverage. I definitely got more coverage with my beloved Tati Beauty Blenderful. Lip liner, I liked the feeling of. It was a little bit too pink. I wish they had a couple more neutral tones. The Velvet Matte lipstick is so nice. I love the packaging, loved the feeling, loved the shade. Don't have any complaints with that. The Matte Allure liquid lipstick I like so far. I really like the shade of it. I like the way it looks, so no complaints on that. Now that I've done a quick rundown, I'm gonna go about my day, finish up packing, dealing with all that fun stuff, and I'm gonna do check-ins throughout the day, and I'll probably be wearing this for a good amount of time, so you will get a solid wear test out of it. But for now, goodbye, and I will see you in the first check-in. All right, guys, so it is check-in number 1. I forgot to say earlier that I finished my makeup at 1 o'clock, and it is 5:33 right now, so this is a 4-hour check-in. Sorry, I usually try to do like check-ins every 2 hours, but honestly, I'm super busy. As you see, I have a lot of boxes and crap over here. I hate moving. But anyway, so here's the makeup. You can see the foundation is looking pretty good. Of course, you can see I have like little breakouts from not sleeping and all of that good stuff. The eyeshadow is still very vibrant. I really like the eyebrow stuff as well. The lipstick stuff is a little bit worn off because I ate, and I ate a wrap, so it wasn't like I ate daintily or anything. But I do think that it stayed all right, but also just in general, like talking and whatnot, or singing, because I've been singing songs while I pack and stuff. My lipstick is worn off, but It's not a dry matte, which I really appreciate. So that's good. That is pretty much it. I will see you guys in a little bit. I've got to go back to packing now and charge my phone because it is on 1%. So, hello, welcome to check-in number 2. It is 7:30, so it is about 2 hours from the last check-in. I'm taking a quick break because I'm waiting for Thomas to get back. He has been back and forth all day. He went to Birmingham twice today, so he's literally spent like 8 hours in the car total. He took a load down and then took our dogs down there so we didn't have to worry about trying to deal with them tomorrow while we're trying to pack up all of this stuff. So yeah, but anyway, here's the makeup. It actually still looks pretty good. I'm getting a slight smile line right here, but other than that, everything looks good. The eyeshadow looks good. The mascara hasn't flaked, which I appreciate, even though I don't like the mascara. And the eyebrows are staying in place. Everything looks pretty good. I did reapply the liquid lipstick over what I already had to see like how it would reapply, and it's actually staying on and not flaking off like some liquid lipsticks do, and it's all gross and weird. So yeah, that is what is going on. Not a whole lot has changed. So yeah, I'm gonna get back to packing and I'll see you guys in the next check-in. All right guys, it is 10 o'clock. I'm exhausted, but I'm doing my final check-in. So the makeup has been on for I think 9 hours now. Everything's running together, but I'm pretty sure it's 9 hours. So this is the final result. It looks pretty good. I've been like blowing my nose, so I have a little bit missing on the bottom of my nose, but like not much has changed with like the smile line situation. I did have fading of the lipstick on the outer corners, but the eyebrows didn't move, the eyeshadow did not crease, and is still vibrant. So yeah, I'm pretty excited with how this worked out. This foundation worked exactly like the Shein one, so I can finally recommend it without being like it's like not available anymore. Overall, I really liked the makeup. I do a lot of first impressions and reviews, and I have like a whole playlist of them, so I'll link it like in the eye and down below. You can go check those out as well. I always pretty much do wear tests. I never am just like a first impressions person because I always like to see how they wear and then check in with you guys so you guys can see how it wears. So yeah, just check out more of my content on my channel. I have lots of different things: beauty, lifestyle, skincare, that kind of is under the beauty, just like a lot of different things. But anyway, I hope you guys liked this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Hit the notification bell down below so you are notified when I upload in the future, and subscribe if you're not already so you will come back and see some more of my videos. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye guys!